Ahead of the release of police investigation documents, the parents of the youngest victim in the Kalamazoo shooting sat down with 24-hour News 8's Heather Walker today.
Revealing more new details about the night of the shooting, uncovering that one of the women shielded Abbie with her own body and took 3 shots.
That's right. We have another hero in this situation. I sat down with them for almost 2 hours today. It was a very raw and emotional interview. This family has been through so much in less than a month. The Koffs have been told that their daughter was going to die multiple times, but that tiny 14-year-old is a fighter.
She's kicked butt. I mean, from what she's been through from the first night we got that horrible phone call.
On February 20th, Vicki Koff received 2 significant phone calls. The first came around 11 o'clock at night from her aunt.
And she said, there's a crazy man with a gun in Kalamazoo shooting people. Have you heard from Abbie and Barb? And I said, no. I said,
Vicki called and texted both of their phones, no answer. After hanging up, the phone rang. It was Bronson's Children's Hospital calling to say Abbie was involved in the shooting.
I said, oh, Lord, where was she shot at? And they wouldn't answer me. And I said, I know I cussed a few times. I don't remember what I said, but I remember saying, tell me right now, is she dead? And the lady on the phone said, no, she's not dead. And I said, then where was she shot at? And she said, well, honey, it's serious. And I said, where was she shot at? I said, do I have time to make it there? And she said she was shot in the head. And I remember dropping to the floor.
Vicki and her husband, Gene, went numb, hopped in the car, and sped to the hospital running red lights.
And I remember the doctor grabbing my hand, and they just started pulling me, basically.
Vicki says the sight of Abbie and her injury was like a horror movie.
You look at your daughter, and you see it every time you look at her head. You watch her sit up in bed with people holding her, and you see it. You watch her get up, and you watch her try to walk, and you see that image. It's an image that will never, ever go away. It's an image that will probably haunt us for the rest of our life.
At the hospital, Abbie's vitals slowed and CPR started.
I started to scream stop because I couldn't stand to watch them pump her lifeless body back and forth to try to get her to come back.
Doctors called the time of death. Vicki and her husband laid on her body sobbing when Vicki says she felt her move.
And I said something to the nurse, and she said, honey, most bodies twitch after they die. She said it's normal. And I kind of ignored it for a minute, and then I thought I felt it again, and I said, could you please just check her and make me feel better?
The nurse checked, and she had a pulse. She was alive, but likely brain dead. Her mother knew Abbie wanted to donate her organs to help others, so Vicki began the process, but needed a sign from Abbie.
She hates holding hands. Kid despises holding hands like this. Just despises it. She never has liked it, and I don't know why, but every time I tried to hold her hand like that, she would go like this.
Vicki sat next to Abbie.
And I said, baby, if you're in there and if you can hear me, I said, just let me know. And within a few minutes after that, I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, her hand just slightly went like that.
Vicki asked her to do it again, and she did, this time squeezing her mother's hand.
She was smacking my hand, and she was trying to draw the letter B in the palm. And Gene was asking her, he said, are you trying to ask something?
She was asking about Grandma Barb, who was killed in the shooting. Vicki says police believe she shielded Abbie, taking 3 bullets in the chest while she pushed Abbie down.
She saved Abbie's life.
Abbie gave doctors a thumbs up,
She was amazing.
and she was rushed into brain surgery.
She just keeps on going. I call her my little Energizer bunny.
And there is so much more from our interview today. Coming up at 6, hear about a new milestone in her rehab and what her parents have to say to the shooter. That's coming up at 6. Wow.
You just hang on every word
I know.
that this woman says, and what that family must have been going through.
And the anguish still that
Yes.
they have to face, but what a remarkable recovery.
Oh,
It's amazing, and we're just hoping and praying that she continues to recover. But every day, though, I mean, there's no guarantee. You've already seen the back and forth so far. It's been less than a month.
Right.
So she still has a long road of recovery ahead.
All right. Heather Walker,
Thanks.
thank you. If you'd like to help Abbie, there is a GoFundMe page set up to help pay for medical expenses. Tiana Carruthers, the other shooting survivor, also has a GoFundMe site. We've got a link to both of those at woodtv.com.